Today is Wednesday, October 24th, and we are going to continue right along with Eureka Math Module 2, Lesson 12. And you can see we're just adding on to what we learned yesterday. Yesterday we started talking about how we can change the problem and undo that change to use the standard algorithm when we multiply decimals. Yes? Today you're going to have an opportunity to add on to that knowledge by just practicing it some more. That's basically what we're doing, okay? When we estimate, we know that 2.31 is pretty close to 2, and 22 is pretty close to what number?
20.
Okay, so what's 2 times 20? This estimate tells us about the ballpark range of our answer, right? Now, it might not really be that close to 40, but it should be pretty close. It at least tells you that our answer should go into the what's place. Okay, should our answer be like a 3-digit number? No. Should it go into the hundreds or the thousands? No. So it tells us what the estimate is good for. It tells you kind of what place value your answer should be in. Now, let's do the standard algorithm. We have 2.31 times 22. Remember that whenever we use the standard algorithm, we're lining up the numbers like on the right-hand side. It's as if there's a wall here, and you want all the numbers to back up to the wall. Does that make sense? Okay, the wall's not on this side. It's on the right-hand side. Okay, now, before we're ready, do we have a decimal in the problem? So what do we need to do? Let's change the problem. Let's change the problem so that it's easier to solve. What change would we have to make in this problem to make it easier to solve? Maddie?
You have to multiply by 100.
Because if I multiply it by 100, the digits will shift 2 times to the left, or basically we can think of the decimal shifting 2 times to the right. Now let's multiply. What's 2 times 1? 2 times 3?
6.
2 times 2?
4.
Okay, now we're going to work in the tens, so let's put a placeholder 0. What's 2 times 1?
2.
2 times 3?
6.
2 times 2?
4.
Let's add it up. How many ones do I have altogether?
2.
How many tens?
8.
How many hundreds?
10.
So let's regroup all of them as 1,000. How many thousands do I have?
5.
Okay, so at this point we have 5,082. Sometimes people forget, oh, I changed the problem. In case you did forget, what does our estimate tell us? Our estimate tells us we should have about how many digits?
2.
Or should go into the tens place, right? Right now, what's my largest place value?
5.
It's in the thousands. Is that the tens? No. So even if I didn't remember I had to undo my problem, my estimate, if I'm trying to get something in the ballpark of 40, where would I need to put the decimal point to do that? If it's here, is it 5,082? Is that in the ballpark of 40? What number do I have if I put the decimal here? 508.2. Is that in the ballpark of 40? What if I put the decimal point here? What is my number? 50.82. Is that in the ballpark of 40? What if I put the decimal point here? 5. Is that in the ballpark of 40? No. So even just using my estimate, I know that my decimal point needs to go here. But to really confirm, because our change was times 100, what do we need to do? We need to undo that change. What would the undo be? Divide by 100. We do the inverse operation, and so that's the same thing. The decimal point ends up in the same place. So what is our answer? 50 and 82 hundredths. It says Jerry spends $1.25 each day on lunch at school. On Fridays, she buys an extra snack for 55 cents. How much money will she spend in 2 weeks? Okay, now, the first thing we need to do is write down what the question is asking. What is the question asking us to find? What is the question asking us to find? So, Marth?
How much money will you spend in 2 weeks?
Okay, go ahead and write that down. What's the important information, Aradhana?
So Jerry spends $1.25 each day. Yeah.
Okay.
Then on Fridays he buys an extra snack for 50 cents.
Very good. Okay. So now, before we do anything, I want you to talk at your table group. What are the different steps that you need to figure out in order to get the final answer of how much money she's going to spend in 2 weeks?